Yeah,
Right.
a couple other things. This is all from the Oklahoma Public School Fast Facts. You can find it online. But check out, I want to come back eventually to, you know what an IEP is?
Yeah.
The Individual Education Program. Now, the government was designed to promote the what? General welfare?
No, individual education
No.
plans.
Here it is, the outline the special education program for a student with a disability.
It all makes
Clearly,
sense
these
now.
the children with disabilities that need an IEP, an individual education program, would be best served by a charter school like Epic, where they could stay at home, where they're not forced to go to
Hey,
school.
you don't want the OSBI to start investigating you. Don't
Once
say anything
again,
like that.
well, my rating, according to you, has gone
That
straight
would be
to
DHS. Probably not OSBI.
It's the OSBI that's been
the
investigating.
fact is, again,
Epic. Yeah.
rid yourself of these truancies laws, these mandatory truancy laws, and you won't have a problem with a lot of these kids that show up with disabilities
Well,
when they don't really want
These
to hear.
individualized
again.
education plans make a lot of sense now. Now I know why all the students aren't graduating learning reading and math. Some of them need to learn about LGBTQ, and some of them need to learn about gender studies. And I see that not universally we teach math and reading.
Right.
So get a load of these numbers. No, we're not done, Deborah. We're still going. The Tulsa
That's right, Debbie. You
Comprehensive.
sit down.
The Tulsa Public Schools Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2017, and this is the earliest we have, okay, or the most current we have. 2016 general fund revenue totaled $304.8 million. Okay, right now there's 35,392 students. Wow, that's a lot of money for those students. The primary funding source was the state of Oklahoma, with state revenue comprising 53% of the total, or $160.6 million. Federal program revenue, $31.3 million, representing 10% of the total. Local, intermediate, and other revenue sources represented 37% of the total revenue collections, or $112.9 million. Of that amount, ad valorem tax revenue, $85.5. Ad valorem tax revenue accounts for 90% of the building fund revenue and total $12.2 million. The Child Nutrition Fund collects 70% of fund revenues from the Federal Nutrition Program administered through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the federal free and reduced price lunch program was 86%.
You can thank Mo for that.
Of
Michelle
lunches
Obama.
served by the district.
Thanks, Mo.
For 15 years, I've gotten nothing but denials for free lunch programs that I never filled out the paperwork for. Somebody kept signing my name, and then I would get the rejection slip. The schools get their money through the lunch program according to pieces of papers submitted, not lunches served. You want to save some money, and the lunch program is the first place to start. Start spending money on lunches served instead of pieces of paper sent in for lunches requested.
Well, remember this. Every federal spending program, every federal charity program like food stamps, reduced price lunches, the federal school lunch program, etc., are all illegal. There's nothing constitutional that allows them to be administering
I don't think we should call them
those
charity
programs.
then. I think we should call them coercive programs.
Well, they are coercive because they're taxed.
It's not charity by definition. It's not
But
voluntary.
it's charity because the people receiving it are gaining
Compulsory
money.
charity, okay.
But it's
Why don't
compulsory
you say
charity.
eleemosynary?
Well, you
Why
want to call
would
it
you
eleemosynary.
not
We're going to have
say
that
it?
discussion off camera one of these days.
Gosh.
But the thing is that eleemosynary doesn't have the coercion aspect to it, and that will,
to it when you say it with your vocal
well,
inflection.
it is coerced eleemosynary spending. That is very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
But the point is that they don't have the right to, even without the coerced taxation aspect, they don't have the authority to run the program. Because even if they had the money somehow, they can't run the program because it's not in the Constitution. The 10th Amendment says that if it's not directly enumerated in the Constitution, they can't do it. And because those powers are reserved to the states and the people.
Right.
So but then it's doubled down by the fact that it's coercive taxation. Every parent who is applying for this reduced tax is receiving, or this reduced price lunch,
Right.
is gaining money to pay for these things. So it's like money handed them, they hand it back to the school. It's just unseen because it doesn't go that way. But they are
The
receiving.
Mitt Romney 47% comment.
They are
This
receiving.
is longer.
They are receiving.
What?
Okay, I'm lost because I
Yeah,
don't understand it.
that's good.
But they are receiving stolen goods and spending those stolen
And back
goods
in
from
2012,
us.
Romney said that 47% of the electorate, he had no chance of receiving their vote because they were on the dole from the federal government.
Well, and he was very right. The problem is, it's even worse than 47% because the other 53% are pretty much also on the dole in one way or another.
Well, my own personal experience is they have fraudulently asked in my name for a free lunch.
Somebody has.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, every year every time we've been in public schools, we get this, and private schools, they give us the free lunch thing has been denied. I never asked for the free
Tom,
lunch.
you steal one free PB&J from us and you get the road.
Wow. Also, when they say free or reduced lunch, are you really telling me you got a kid that's standing there like, Jimmy, you're so hard up, we're going to give you a free lunch, but Tommy, you're going to get only half price. Are you kidding me? What's the difference in free and reduced?
The amount of money the
Give me
parents
a
earn.
break.
The
Give
amount
me
of
a
money
break.
they think
if
the
they're
parents
low
can
enough
afford.
to get a reduced rate, give them the free lunch. It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
What
Lunch
a
is kind of
joke.
expensive.
Is there any difference between rape and incest?
Yes, not all incest, or not all rape is incest.
Not all incest is necessarily rape. It could be consensual. It's still deranged.
be.
Okay,
You're still a
then-
degenerate.
Then why would we offer a exception for incest and rape? Because
You talking about
consensual
for
incest
abortion?
isn't rape.
Right.
Because people are perverse. If they're wanting to murder their kids and just have exemptions to something that says you can't, then they're going to come up with stuff like that.
Some
It's
people,
funny how
some people think that abortion's fun. I mean, they're called,
it's
they're
amazing
called
how
liberals. So.
public school takes you to stuff like that. But just to close out, we have two more things to flog this dead deal with. Oklahoma, because I have offered some really good suggestions to cut the money here. Reduce class sizes by eliminating truancy law. No certified teachers for pre-K, K, and through fourth
They're
grade.
already doing that in some places.
So here's a good one.
Stop wasting money.
There's a way, there's a ton of ways
that can't be felt by the entire of the system.
Sell the leftover boxes of Kleenexes that are in all the teachers' closets.
Some of that reduced food,
So
sell.
I can fix their $22 million problem with a $26 million fix. Oklahoma Public Schools from fiscal year 2016 to fiscal year 2017, teachers, certified and support personnel received $26 million more for flexible benefit allowance. That's a 6.0619% increase in benefits. That's you can find that Docs, Google on a budget in the public. So why don't you just reinstate those dollars back to the fiscal year 16 or 15? There's $26 million available in flexible benefit allowance, and that leaves you a couple $1 million to play with.
Okay.